Yes, you're watching the South Australian Sports Show. Time to get our attention onto the Southern Footy League because there has been heaps happening. The Pres Craig Warman joins us and a young superstar, Ella Besley, joins us with her medal around her neck, and she's with Ranella, mate, so she is an absolute gun.
Well,
Ella, thanks for joining us. Great, thanks for coming. Let's start with you, Ella. So, the Katrine Hilliard medal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? Hey, so tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start playing footy?
I started 2 seasons ago. I saw all the boys playing and I thought I'd give it a shot.
Saw the boys playing?
Yeah.
Not brothers or anything like that, or just?
I have a 12-year-old brother. He plays for Nella too, so yeah.
But you saw a boy you're pretty keen on playing, or just saw the boys playing?
Yeah,
or?
my dad's coaches every year and brother's been playing for a long time. So.
Before footy? What did you play before footy?
Netball, triathlons, surf life saving.
Okay. Still doing any
basketball.
of those?
Going back to netball and surf life saving.
Okay. Do you like footy over all those other sports now?
Yeah, football's my favourite.
It's quite obvious. I mean, you just won a medal.
Yeah.
Do you have ambitions now in footy? Do you want to go and play whatever?
Yeah, like a lot of girls' dreams, I want to go onto AFL Women's.
Okay, yeah.
So when you're the best player in the under-16 comp, do people come knocking on your door? Have you had anyone knock on your door and say, come and play with our team, or we've got an eye on you, we need you to look at this development team next? Has there been?
Not yet.
No.
I played for South Adelaide under-15 development squad for 2 years, but that's about it so far.
So South Adelaide, now this is my point about South Adelaide, keeping people in their own zone. We talked about this before, haven't we? The lure of going down to Adelaide is what I'm talking about here, rather than play for South Adelaide. You'd be happy now to play with South Adelaide in the women's comp? No problem at all with that?
No problem, yeah.
There you go. That's what I like to hear, because I've always been a big fan of their zone down there. Yet I don't think anyone has worked it quite as well as what they probably should have. So that these people that play for Ranella and Cove and Morford Vale, South Adelaide, that's your destination club. And it's up to South Adelaide to make themselves a destination club, but you say,
and I think that's improving.
Oh, I think it has
very
as well.
much so.
Yeah, because I can't believe they haven't won a flag in all my time.
Because as we all know, with the salary cap and et cetera, they've had to look at what's in their own backyard.
Exactly.
Instead of going to Victoria and getting these recruits.
Which they did for many years.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
And the talent that we've got down there now, the under-18s, just played in a grand final and unfortunately lost to the Eagles on the last weekend, but the talent's there.
Yeah. So we'll come back to you because we're going to find out what happened with Ranella and the under-16s, why they didn't win on Sunday. Obviously, you weren't playing in it. That's probably something to do with it, but we'll come back to you. Craig, we do need to touch on what's happened with the men, mate. It was a ripping weekend, a 10-point win just over Christie's Beach for Flagstaff Hill to get into play no longer in the grand final.
Yeah, and the credits where credits due. They held off and got the job done in the end. But a terrific game of footy, and virtually the whole day was close. In all the grades. But Christie's came to play and really put the Flaggies boys to the sword, so to speak. But Flaggies, with their overall experience, just gradually ground them down and got away by 10 points. That'll be the fourth time, 4 years straight they've been in the grand final.
Yeah.
It would have been an interesting night back at Christie's Beach, because if you go through all the results, mate, of all the grades, of all the grades on last weekend,
the highs and lows.
Christie's in the A grade, down by 10 points. In the B grade, I think they drew, and then Golden Point, they won by a point. Then you go down the ladder to the under-17s. They got done by 3 points, or they won by one other thing. But every grade. So you wouldn't. I was thinking to myself, you wouldn't know whether to laugh or cry.
The win-loss, win-loss.
When you go back to the club.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you make a very valid point, because you then flip over to what happened on Sunday, and they won the under-14 girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were in there. They were in the under. Within under-16s, but then they won the under-15 boys as well on the Sunday. So
let's talk about Sunday, because you said you had the under-15, under-16 girls, the under-15 boys. You had the C grade that Ackham got up and won.
Good on the Hawks.
Started early. Massive crowd came in. They didn't have enough room. Had the car park full. And send them around to the paddock to park in the paddock. So it's just a great time in the Southern Footy League right now, isn't it?
Mate, it was terrific, and certainly for the girls to have the huge crowd that they had there right at the start, supporting them from under-14s, under-16s, and with the under-15 boys, by the time Port Noarlunga and Hackenwood tried to get in the ground, it was just
too hard.
It was too hard.
Yeah.
But no, credit where credit's due. It's just been a really big thing for the Southern Football League, the growth of women's footy.
Ella, let's talk about the under-16 grand final. Unfortunately, the best player wasn't playing on the day. Were you surprised by the result on Sunday?
A little bit, yeah. I was
Yep.
hoping we would win,
Yep.
but we ended up going down by 2 goals. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's not talk about that anymore.
No, that's we've done that one.
On the day, going into the game, you thought you were a good chance to win it?
I thought so. We'd beaten them 3 times, I think,
Yep.
the whole season. We drew once, lost once. So,
Ouch.
yeah, it was going to be a tough game. We knew that from the start. But
You know, when the coaches sit back after and they look at the game and the players sit and have a look as well, there's normally a moment or 2 moments where you go, that's where they got us. You know, it's like you were saying before to Jared Cotton when he was on 15
Yeah,
minutes, they got us.
yeah,
Was there a moment where you thought, other than when the siren goes off and they've won, a turning point in the game?
we had a rough first quarter, but we ended up getting back in the last quarter. So
Nerves.
yeah, I reckon it was nerves.
It was
Yeah,
nerves. And then that can happen in
definitely.
finals,
Yeah, because it
it's
was a massive crowd. So
Yeah. Which would be the biggest you've played?
yeah,
In
definitely.
front of, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a bit nervous.
The big game, Aldinga and Cove in the women's. Who were you going for? Before it
thought-
started, who did you tip?
Aldinga.
Right, okay.
I thought Aldinga. Yep. Cove came through the wind, didn't they?
They
Yep.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Cobblers.
Cobblers, that's Baz. He's jumped on the Cove because he's a Cove boy. Yeah. Sorry, Henderson. And
of course,
really apologise, Alan.
in the women's grade, we also have a best on ground medal.
Yep.
And Jamie Galley, who was in here earlier,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
she was best on ground for Cove in the grand final. So
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, let's have a talk about the grand final breakfast that's coming up on Friday, mate. Tell us a
Yep.
little bit about it.
Yeah, it's again down at the Emu Hotel. Come along, you'll get to see the captains and coaches of both sides. We've got Dogger,
Yep.
Michael Dowdy, to come along and give us a bit of an insight on his career. So yeah, Emu Hotel, 7:30 start. Get on down, have some breakfast with a group of Southern Football League people.
Breakfast with the stars.
Noarlunga have been the dominant team all year. There's been no doubt about that. Flaggies have had to battle through after Christie's Beach. Do you think it's Noarlunga's year?
Again, it would be a little bit of a cry of shame if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But we know how hard it is to go through a season undefeated.
Yes.
They're undefeated at this stage. They've been the best side in the competition, and I would suggest it'll be a good game, but I just think the shoes will get them.
Who do you think?
Ooh, I don't like undefeated. I don't like the
So
sound
you're
of
going for who?
undefeated. Flaggies.
Ella, who are you going for?
I'll go Flaggies.
Flags? Oh, I'm going to stick with Noarlunga. I think their year's been too good. Hey, just quickly before we let you go, mate, the male medal, there's been a couple of unbelievable records just recently set with the male medal.
Well,
Brilliant.
let's start. I haven't let you into this one, but in the B grade there was a draw
Yep.
for the B grade medal, and
A draw in the game and a draw in the medal.
yeah, Luke Ross and Brian Hocking drew, and they're both from the same club, both from Noarlunga,
Oh.
and they're playing in the B grade grand final against Christie's Beach. So congratulations to them. But the really interesting one was Nick Mott on Monday night won his second medal back to back, won it last year, and what a story for the Mott family. His father Jerry Mott, he went back to back in 1989, 1990.
Wow.
So it's the first time in our
That's incredible.
long
That's
history
That is unbelievable,
that we've
yeah.
got a father and son that have not only now dual medalists, but dual back-to-back medalists
Yeah.
in our midst. And of course, Noarlunga's side is full of father-son. The president's son is playing, Jake Anderson, who will be playing in the final as well. So
Fantastic.
It's terrific.
Ella, well done on your season.
Thank
Terrific.
Congratulations, Ella.
16
Thank you.
superstar. Always a pleasure to catch up with you. A big weekend in the Southern Footy League. Get
it
down there. It is going to be a beauty. Noarlunga and Flagstaff. Stay with us.